welcome to the bedoknit podcast. My name is Amy Olson, and I am a knitter and occasional knitwear designer here in St. Paul, Minnesota. And this is my podcast where I talk about my knitting. So, a couple of updates since I last podcasted. I have a new microphone. I'm going to try to use this one. So we'll see how it goes. But I went to the Shepherd's Harvest Sheep and Wool Festival in Minnesota, and it was a blast. I went with my mom and my aunt and my sister, Marianne, and we had a lot of fun. And I got some acquisitions that I'll share at the end, but I wanted to catch you up on a couple of projects. And yeah, I've got one FO and one whip to share, and then I'll tell you about the Shepherd's Harvest Sheep and Wool Festival, and then I'll get into my acquisitions and maybe I'll tell you what I've been watching too, which is good, but kind of, my husband and I are on a wild ride with this TV show. So enough of that, on to the knitting. So I'm just going to talk about this whip that I'm wearing, and then I'll talk about the FO. So I'm wearing a whip, and it is on barber cords, as you can see. This is my Ranunculus Tee. I think the last time I podcasted around May 7th, and today is May 26th, I believe. I think at that point in time, I hadn't even cast on. So the Ranunculus sweater or tee or whatever is such a quick knit. Because you're using US 10 needles for the body and you use US 9 for the rib sections, it goes super fast. So if you want a quick garment to knit, this is it. Look no further. This is a great garment. I'm super excited about it. As you can see, before we get any further down the line with this, as you can see, I moved back into my old room. So the sunlight is just so much better in here, and my husband, I just wanted to swap rooms. This room is a little bit bigger too, and I have six bins full of yarn and knitting over on the side, and then I have 2, 3, 4 IKEA shelves full of bins of yarn and knitting books and all the things. So on this shelf back here, these are knitting books, and then I've got, 4 shelves of knitting books, and then just a lot of bins of yarn. So I needed the bigger room, and my closet is in here with my clothes, so it just made sense. So I moved in here, and so I cannot believe it's been 20 days, 19 days, and I got this much done on my Ranunculus Tee. So I'm not leaving it like this. Once I finish the body, and I think I'm done, because I want to wear this with dresses, and I have a dress on right now. And there's still 3 inches left of twisted rib that go below the knitting. So there's going to be quite a bit more fabric underneath. So I think I could just stop now. And then I'll pick up the sleeves and go a little bit. I'll do a little length, and then I'll do a little ribbed section here. So my inspiration for this tee and this color is from Casey from Young Folk Knits. She made the same tee in the same yarn. In this color citrine. And so I think I talked about the yarn before. You can look on my Ravelry and everything, but this tee, I just love it so much. So anyway, so that's how this is going. You do this twisted rib up here, and then you get into a little bit of lace work, and then, you raise the neck. I think you even raise the front a little bit, but raise the neck with short rows, and voila. So this is the Ranunculus, and I love it. So, so then, I don't know if there's much more to say about it until I'm done with it, but yeah, that's kind of how it's going right now. So, and I am just making it as written in the pattern. I did the wider neckline, which I can't believe it's the wider neckline. Maybe it's because this is sport weight yarn or something. And it did stretch a little. I haven't blocked it yet. But I thought it would be a little wider, but it must be because this is sport weight yarn. So the yarn is a combination of linen, cotton, alpaca, and silk, I believe. And yeah, it's just a great yarn. So this yarn is from the Wandering Flock. So yeah, it is, I don't know if I put it in here. I have it on my Instagram and it's in Ravelry if you want to see more details. But the thing I have to tell you is that I got sucked into Andrea Mowry's Harlow hat make along or knit along challenge, and it was a lot of fun. But I did spend my entire Memorial Day weekend, it feels like, knitting this hat, and I missed the deadline by 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I didn't get to enter the hat for, you know, the prizes she was giving away, but I did finish the hat on the day it was supposed to be done. But it was, I think it was like 12 Eastern. You were supposed to wrap it up. And at 11 Central, I was like, oh, I have 1 hour left. And then I realized, no, it's Eastern time. So it was done. Like I was still working on the crown. So this is the Harlow hat. And yeah, this is the first side. So when you start, you know, brioche, this is a brioche pattern. So when you do brioche, it's two-sided. So this is the first side, like you cast on here, and then you're going up like that. But on the back side, it looks like this. And then the way this pattern works, she really wanted to figure out, how do I get it to flip so that side one is showing, or like you can make it reversible and flip the hat up so that this yarn is matching with the skein of yarn, you know, when you flip it. So this yarn is from Spincycle, and it is Dream State, which I think is like a Sport DK weight. And then it is in the colorway Sex on the Beach. So that is this hat. And then when you flip it, the brioche part, you know, it's two color brioche. So you're holding it with another bit of yarn. And I was originally holding it with this other color from Spincycle. And I can't remember, I'm trying to remember what this one is called. I'll tell you in 1 second. But what I wound up, I had to recast on because the first go round was not working out. So I recast on, and when I did that, I decided to go with this kind of turquoise, lighter turquoise color. And I'm glad I did. At first I was like, oh no, did I make a mistake? And then I just decided, no, I like it. I think I had to get like maybe up to here. And then I started to like it. But anyway, yeah, this is the top of the hat. I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna rush to make another brioche hat. These decreases, and this probably looks terrible because I was messing up and trying to fix it, and I was like, you know, at some point you're working in the round, and I would think I was on 16-inch circulars, and then at some point you got to change to either double pointed needles or magic loop on a really, like, add a long cord and do magic loop. Well, that was all fine and dandy, but it was kind of a racket to like do the decreases. So I was on magic loop, then I switched to double point, and then it was just like with the two yarns and how tight it was, like you're getting close at the top, and I mean, the yarn confusion and chaos in my brain, and, you know, after sitting on the couch for 4 or 5 hours today, like today was the last day. So I'm like, I am getting this done. So I just like plowed through. I watched Arnie and Carlos. I watched, oh my gosh, so many podcasts. And, yeah, I'm trying to remember them, but I can't for the life of me. Anyway, yeah, I watched tons of podcasts and just tried to power through. And I switched to those double pointed needles. It was not fun at all. And so I just decided to abort mission, and go back to the magic loop. And even that was, once you get down to 16, 8 stitches and 16 stitches at the end, I just was like, there can't be another round. Please, Andrea. Please don't tell me there's another round. Let's just bind this off and call it a day. So, yeah, it got a little hectic at the end, but you know, it's not perfect on that side. It looks a little better on this side, I'd say. This side looks like an absolute mess. The blue side, the light blue side was facing me. And so I could clearly see the mistakes a little bit better, but you know, it's okay. It's a hat. And it was fun to be in the knit along. This is what it looks like. It's pretty cute, huh? So, yeah. So that's that side. And that's with the Spincycle showing. And then this other yarn that I used, I didn't even tell you yet. It's Brooklyn Tweed Arbor. So Brooklyn Tweed Arbor, I think it's like 100% American wool targi or something like that. Okay, it's Brooklyn Tweed Arbor. And it is 145 yards, 50 grams skein in the colorway Sea Glass. So it's kind of like a blue-green. I don't know. I picked it up at the Yarnery and I really like it. So that, and then the Spincycle Dream State Sex on the Beach. So those are the colors of my hat, and I am pretty pleased with it. And along with that, it's so funny because, well, I'll bring that up later, but I picked up some yarn at the Shepherd's Harvest Sheep and Wool Festival that kind of really goes with, it's that same kind of colorway of that aqua blue. And I don't know, people at the booth were like, you need to make that scarf that was hanging up, and I'll show you a photo of it. But anyway, so yeah, that's that on this hat. I was a little bummed that I missed the deadline, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It was fun. It was fun to do the hat and be part of the cal, and I didn't really do much. I have not blocked it yet, so I'll do that. It'll look even better. But I did not get into like talking to people on the thread or any of that on Ravelry, but that would have been fun, I'm sure. I don't know. Anyway, it was very quick. It started Thursday, and then the cal ended 12 noon Eastern time today on Monday, Memorial Day. So in the United States, we're celebrating Memorial Day today. So yeah, it was, you know, and I forgot about it Thursday morning, and I was watching, I think maybe I thought of it that night. I may have cast on Thursday evening, and then yeah, and then I had Thursday evening, Saturday part of the day, and then Sunday part of the day, and then half a day today. So anyway, took a while. And you know, with brioche, like I'm fairly new to brioche, and especially all the increasing or the decreasing. And so that was fun to learn new skills. And yeah, I really like the left leaning decrease and the right leaning decrease and brioche. It was really fun. I don't know. It's just like, especially the right leaning decrease, because you kind of like move 2 stitches over, like you slip knitwise, knit a purl stitch, then you like pull these other 2 stitches over, and then you put the thing back over on the left hand needle, and you pull 2 stitches over that way and put it back over here. It was just like a lot of moving stitches around, and it just seems so cool once you did it. It was like, wow, this is so awesome. Who thought of this? So anyway, pretty fun. All right, so Shepherd's Harvest Sheep and Wool Festival. Before I go there, this weekend I went to my parents' farm in Wisconsin, and I got my mom for her birthday this same yarn, but in this really pretty blue color, and she still needs to cast on for her ranunculus. So I went out to the farm and got her cast on, and then I was working on my hat and she was working on her ranunculus, and we just had a great day. I made BLTs for us and stopped at this really good bakery in Minnesota called Cafe Latte. They have great cakes that, like, if you're having a birthday party and you don't want to make the cake, you could go buy one at Cafe Latte. It's amazing. Turtle cake and torts, and I mean, just such good cake. Anyway, they also have really good scones with clotted cream and jam. So I got that for my mom and I, and we really enjoyed our scones and jam and cream and with coffee. It was so good. So we did that. We watched some TV and some podcasts. I think we watched Mayak. We watched Fruity Knitting, and Andrea was interviewing Andreas from Mayak Knitting. And he was just telling all kinds of stories about the history of, you know, the yak and the sheep and the ancient breeds, where they get their fiber to make their yarn. So anyway, that was pretty cool. I think Paula was sick, and so she wasn't able to make it. So anyway, check it out. Fruity Knitting. It was a good episode. So we got her cast on, and once she finishes, I think it'd be fun to do a podcast where we're both wearing our ranunculus and how it fits us, you know, fits each of us differently, I'm sure. You know, you never know how things are going to go, but like trying to figure out what size for her to make and how much ease and that kind of thing. So we got a t-shirt, her favorite like fitting t-shirt, out of her closet because we're making tees, ranunculus tees. So she brought the t-shirt out. I measured her, you know, I did her bust measurement with a tape measure, and then we did the measurement of her favorite tee, and then we just decided on what size to make based on that. So she's making, I think I'm making a size 4 and she's making a size 6. So we will see how it all goes. So excited. So, okay, Shepherd's Harvest Sheep and Wool Festival. So it was on, I think it was May 10th or 11th, something like that. It was a Saturday. My mom, my Aunt Judy, and my sister Marianne and I met up there, and we spent, you know, hours there. We did all 3 barns of fiber yarns and that kind of thing, but we did not go to the animal barns, which I was a little bummed about, but it was kind of like we were over it at that point and needed to go take a break and get some lunch. And so we went into Stillwater, Minnesota, and picked up some lunch and went out for lunch on a patio there at Lolo. If some of you are from Minnesota, you'd know what I'm talking about. But anyway, they have really good food and wine, and so we just went out for lunch, and it was lovely. It was a lovely day. So anyway, Shepherd's Harvest Sheep and Wool Festival. It's a lot of local farmers and shepherds, shepherdesses, sheep farmers, and then yarn shops. I mean, Fiber Macgyver was there, Stephen B., the gal from the Wild Barn Yarn was there, where I made the Book Club Cardigan. She was there, and I got a picture with her. I got a picture with Stephen B., and I got a picture with Susie from Fiber Macgyver. I'll pop those photos up here. But, and then I even interviewed someone, just totally on the fly, So yeah, Greg was this lovely guy that had Plaid Perch Farm. So his booth, he won the booth award. Like, he just won, hands down, best booth. I mean, Fiber Macgyver is right next door, so I mean, maybe they're tied. But just his vibe of his booth, I think he said he had a marketing major, and you could tell, like, it was well done, well presented. Well done, Greg. It was so good. So I went by, and it was, I think he was talking to somebody, and I think maybe I even asked about, he uses for his yarn, he uses CVM Rommeldale. Well, that's the yarn from the Wild Barn yarn that I used for my book club cardigan. So I was asking him about CVM Rombledale and where it comes from, and before it got to the US, where was it? And all these things, all these questions. And then I left the barn, and then I came back, and there was kind of this mustard color yarn there. And I was like, oh gosh, I just really want to get that a skein of that mustard yarn. And then I got talking to him, and I was like, hey, can I just interview you really quickly? And he was like, sure. And so, I mean, how accommodating. And so thanks, Greg. But anyway, Greg and the Plaid Perch Farm is from Newton, Iowa. And I think you can find him on Instagram at Plaid Perch Farm. And perhaps that, or plaidperch.com is his website. So, and it says, let's see, raising Shetland and Rombledale CVM sheep. So anyway, he had some bats of yarn. He had like these kits, and then skeins of yarn. But his booth was just so next level. I'll pop up a picture. It was just awesome. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this interview. And when you come back, I'll tell you more about Shepherd's Harvest Sheep and Wool Festival. Greg, this is an amazing booth.
Thank you.
And I just made a book club cardigan using CVM Rombledale.
How fun.
I know. So can you tell us, because I see that you are using CVM Rombledale.
Yeah.
Tell me about CVM Rombledale.
Yeah, they're really great sheep. So the Rombledales themselves are started as a kind of primarily white sheep.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden these colors started popping out, because in the original sheep there's blacks and grays, and so they started to pop out, and so someone took this breed and started to breed all of those colors together.
Yeah.
And so now we have all these really great colors, and so I use them to over dye. And
that's so cool. Love it. And your shawl, your mini shawl?
So the darker color is one that I dyed that is out of Rombledale.
Okay. And what's that pattern?
This is by Sarah. It's her Victory Garden.
Oh, is it crochet? Oh, it's crochet.
Don't look too close. Did not weave my ends in yet.
No way! That's amazing. Did you just finish it last night?
This week I did. I was too busy labeling, so I didn't have time to weave these.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love it. And you were telling me these are like little mini kits, right?
Yeah, so you can take 4 ounces and you can either wash them, or you can buy them washed and just experiment with them.
And this cowl is so cool. Martin Story.
Yeah.
And then is this Andrea Mowry?
No, this is
who is
Samantha
this?
Guerin.
Oh, yeah,
this is
Samantha
the Grig
Guerin.
Gambit.
Okay.
It was a fun knit.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And your business is Plaid Perch Farm.
Yep.
Love it. And look at these colors. So pretty.
Yeah.
So these are bats.
And these are all bats, yep.
Bats and then skeins of yarn. Look
All
at this color.
Yeah, the
love
Osage
this
orange
one.
is just such a vibrant color.
Yeah, you're saying Osage orange.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's a type of like a hedgerow bush.
Oh, got it.
So it's actually.
And is it common?
It's common, but also pretty invasive.
Oh, okay, got it.
So
but you know
hedge
what?
apples
Useful.
That's apples are Osage orange.
Yeah.
Hedge trees.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
So you use the sawdust and get a cool color.
And then you got a cool color. So yeah. Thank you so much, Greg. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I hope to see you at Shepherd's Harvest next year, or maybe even, dare I say, Rhinebeck. I bought tickets for one of the events at Rhinebeck before I even found a place or planned the trip. So hopefully I can go. I even bought a ticket for this event for my friend Henny. So hopefully she can go too. If not, I might do a giveaway for one of you to get that ticket. But so when we first got to Shepherd's Harvest, we went in the first barn, and that's where the Wild Barn yarn was. And that was really fun. And we ran, we just did a lot of shopping and saw some cool stuff. And I talked to the gal from Wild Barn Yarn, and I said, could I meet Flynn, the sheep, where this yarn came from? And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, just call me before you come. And you know, the shop or the farm shop isn't open all the time. And so she's just like, just call me and, you know, I'll make sure Flynn looks presentable and probably doesn't have hay and straw and things all over. But anyway, I want to get a little picture with Flynn. Oh, that'd be so cool. And I'll wear my book club cardigan and Flynn can be hanging out. So anyway, that would be super cool. And so I chatted with her about that. And I think the event, there's a knit night on May 29th, which is coming up. Today's the 26th, Monday the 26th. 27, 28, 20. It's Thursday the 29th. I wonder if I can get down there and make that happen before this podcast airs. We'll see if I can get that done. But that would be pretty cool to meet Flynn and get a picture with Flynn in my book club cardigan. So cute. Oh my gosh. Look, he's like a sheep whisperer. That's her? But I think it was in that barn that I picked up this E2's Emu Ranch from Schaefer, Minnesota. And I just had to get this because my best friend growing up lived in Schaefer, Minnesota. And I lived in like Lindstrom and Center City, Chisago area. Anyway, and I had to get this yarn for that reason, but also because this, I guess it's a alpaca. Yeah. This alpaca's name is Jethro. And Jethro, the reason that has any significance, my husband grew up across the street and took drumming lessons from the drummer in Jethro Tull growing up. It was like in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So anyway, such a trip. Is it something Cranny? Mark Cranny? I don't know. Anyway, the drummer from Jethro, my husband grew up across the street and took drumming lessons from him. How cool is that? Anyway, I had to get this yarn, and then I got to make Matt something. A hat, mittens, I don't know, something with this alpaca yarn. From Jethro. Oh my gosh, so cute. Anyway, just total spontaneous purchase. And then, hey, while I was... I should show you Greg's yarn. So from Plaid Perch Farm, I also got this, this is Shetland yarn. It's not the CVM Rommeldale. Sport weight. And it's from the plant Osage. This sheep was born in a barn and grazed on pasture. You may find bits of hay or other vegetable matter in her fleece. So that's kind of cool. It's very much like the wild barn yarn. I love this yellow. It's just like my thing in the summer. So anyway, Iowa raised Shetland yarn. And the dye is made from Osage, O-S-A-G-E. Do you guys know that? It is like I think it's a type of bush that can be maybe a little invasive, but I mean, how cool, how great is that color? So this Osage bush, I'll put a picture of the bush up here. And that's what they use to dye it. I feel like the bush, oh yeah, there is vegetable matter. I feel like the bush comes from maybe there's Osage in Iowa. But I think when I looked it up, it was like Arizona or something like that. So I'll have to look it up and get my facts straight before I post it. But anyway, so that was Greg's booth. And before I went there, I saw Susie from Fiber Macgyver. Her booth was so busy. It was insane. She was so busy and just running. And of course, just so friendly and smiley and happy. And she's just a lovely person. I know I keep saying that every time I talk about her, but I saw this yarn. See what I mean about the like aquamarine? This would look really good. These would look good together. This yarn, this is Suri Alpaca, and there's 2 skeins of that. And then here's this hand-dyed happy springy color that goes with it. And it's a scarf. It's like a shawl. I'll pop up a picture of the shawl and put the name up. But this shawl, it was so pretty. And it was so soft because of the Suri. And it looks like it's maybe mosaic knitting. It's definitely color work of some sort. It might be mosaic. And I just had to have it. And my sister loved it too. She loved these colors. But then I got these, I tried the scarf on, and people were walking by and they're like, that is your color. You have to have that one. And so I went with this set of colors in the skeins. And my sister got this one that's like white Suri, or like a cream Suri, and then like bluish speckles. So my sister Marianne and I are going to have to do a cal and make this scarf. I'm really excited. So this is, it's the Born Slippy Shawl Kit by Beata Jezik. I think that's what it says. I'm still getting used to my glasses. Can you tell? Oh, the hand-dyed yarn is Merino Sport, 100% Merino Heavy Sport weight, 100 grams, 100 gram skein. And then the Suri is Suri silk, 74% Suri and 26% silk lace weight. And that is 50 grams each. So 100 grams for this. And then these 2 are 100 grams. So I'll pop up the picture of this shawl. It is gorgeous. You are going to love it. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to make that. So that's what I got from Susie. And it's always so fun. So this happened last year too. The barns, it's hard to get your credit card to work inside the barn. And so you got to go out. So Susie's got her sister on point with like the card machine, like on her phone, to like go out and stand in the doorway and like walk around until she can get a signal to like pay, so you can pay for your yarn. It is a hoot. And her sister is a riot. So anyway, that is my score from that. And what else? Dun, 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 dun. This is a little sheep's hide, and it's supposed to be used for, it's like a seat cover. So I could pop it on the seat of my chair, but I've been putting it up and over the back because my dogs love to eat sheepskins. As I learned when I bought a sheepskin a couple years ago. The thing is almost like pulled to shreds right now. So I got this one. I'm so excited. It's so cool and it's so thick and luscious. And then also with Fiber Macgyver, I'm kind of all over the place, guys. Sorry. Also with Fiber Macgyver, I got this cool sticker. And then these barber cords and her little camper van stitch stoppers. Aren't those cute? So pretty excited to use those. And then what else? I think that's about it. I mean, we went and had like, I don't know, they had food trucks. And so we went and sat at a picnic table. We talked to a bunch of people. I talked to a lady in line who is a spinner. And she was like, you know what? It's just yarn, just play, just have fun. You know, I think she teaches spinning too. And so she was just like, you know what? People get so worked up like, oh, I'm just too scared to do X, Y, Z with yarn or like try some new skill. And she's like, it's just yarn. You can buy more. It's not a big deal. You know, just sign up to fail. Like you're going to like start out. It's not going to be perfect, but you know, I was telling her I bought a drop spindle last year and a bat of yarn, but I still haven't done anything, or a bat of wool, and I haven't tried spinning yet. And she's like, just look on YouTube and it'll be fun. Just have fun. So anyway, it's just so cool to go to those yarn events and run into people that can inspire you. And, you know, you just get to talk with people that are into the same thing you are and into the same craft. And yeah, so I'm super excited to try to spin. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's all I really have today. I have these other two skeins. This one's Salty Dog in Spincycle. And then this one, I think it's called something of the earth, or I don't know. I can't remember. And I was thinking about making another Harlow hat, but you know what? No, I cannot. I cannot do it. I'll save that for some other project. I just don't want to do the crown shaping again and the decreasing. Like, I'm over it. So yeah, I think I'm going to pause on that one. Oh, one other thing is that I want to use this alpaca yarn. I'm a little concerned. It's alpaca and merino, DK weight. And it is from that farm in Bayfield, Wisconsin that I went to when I went to Apple Fest. And I want to, and Abby is the owner, her and her husband. But anyway, they have this alpaca farm. And before I go back to her farm next year, I want to make a cardigan using this yarn. It's alpaca and merino. So I'm a little concerned about the drape and that it would get too stretchy or drapey. I want to do a cardigan and I want it to be a longer-ish cardigan. But I don't want it to have too much drape. So now I'm like, yeah, I think if I do some sort of stitch pattern, I think if I do a textured stitch pattern on the body of the cardigan, I think that'll help with it not drooping, or I don't know, getting too heavy or not heavy. This is not heavy. This is super lightweight yarn. I just feel like alpaca can sometimes grow, but this isn't 100% alpaca. It's alpaca and merino. So maybe that wool gives it a little bit more memory and it doesn't get as drapey. So anyway, I'm going to give it a go. I have 8 skeins. I just wound them up. And then one other thing I forgot to tell you last time, and that is that I purchased, it's like a lifetime, you know, membership to Claire of Sister Mountain, her sweater design school. So I purchased classes, basically, instructions for making a raglan, a set-in sleeve, and a drop shoulder sweater, how to design a sweater in those 3 construction types. Now, I have done it myself, but I was, it was my first time designing, and I need to go back and make my first patterns more size inclusive and maybe just tweak and fix some of I feel like I can make them a little better. And so I'm going to do that. And I'm using this sweater design school from Sister Mountain to upskill so that I can make those patterns better. So if you purchase that pattern, update is coming once I get through this schooling. That is on the way. I'm super excited. These classes are so good. And I think I just pay like $100 a month for these classes. And then it's maybe 6 months worth. And then you have these classes. And then she does an online Q&A once a week on Wednesdays for me, it's 8 to 9 a.m. Central Time. And you can send in your question ahead of time and she'll answer it. And then you also get invited to this Facebook group where you and all the other students from Sweater Design School with Claire from Sister Mountain get to kind of like chat in this community thread. So I'm pretty excited. I think I watched the first and second module. The first one may have been, I think you make like a storyboard or like a mood board or something for your design. And then you do some sketching, maybe as the second module. Anyway, I'm getting excited. I'm going to go to the third module and just like, I think the first one is on a raglan sweater, which my first thing I ever designed and put out there was Easy Ease, which is a raglan chunky cardigan sweater. So anyway, super excited. That's the first pattern I'm going to update. And then I'm going to go to the next one is Slouchy. I'm going to give it less ease, I think, because it's crazy amount of ease. I mean, I like it and my husband likes it. Like he loves that sweater on me, but it's a bit much for ease for a lot of people. And so I might just make it a little more approachable for people. Cinch in the hem and yeah, I don't know. I've got some ideas just to make that pattern a little better and more approachable for people. So, all right, that is all I have today. And I'm going to go make a cup of coffee. My mom made some cake when I was out at the farm yesterday. I came with the scones and the clotted cream and jam. And I was like, what are we going to do with these scones? And you made a cake. So anyway, she packed up some cake. I'm going to go have a piece of cake and a cup of coffee. And then I'll probably watch the Timberwolves game. They're in the Western Finals. So that'll be super fun tonight. They won the last game and they were on fire. So I'm super excited to watch them. And yeah, and then there's this British show that my husband and I are watching called The Fall. And it's about a serial killer in Ireland, I think, in Belfast. Anyway, that is a very scary show, but we cannot stop watching it. And we're almost done. So I'll be ready to be done with that because it's a little scary. But anyway, if you haven't seen it and you like that kind of thing, like it's a good show, but it's just like, oh, so frustrating. So anyway, I hope you're all enjoying spring and have something really awesome on your needles and you're just having a blast. Thank you so much for being here. If you watch my channel and you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It just helps with the algorithm and getting out there. Anyway, I hope you have a good rest of your day and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.